Zootopia 2 is finally coming to theaters, and we already have tons of details revealing a whole lot of what's about to happen in this long-awaited sequel. Are you ready to dive into a bunch of wild, surprising, and twist-filled facts that are coming our way in this new Zootopia adventure? Anyone who watched the first trailers thinks they already understand everything about Gary, but very few people noticed that the trailer drops a massive bomb. There are probably 2 snakes in Zootopia 2. There's a moment when he appears in a dark background and, out of nowhere, we see a snake tail pulling Gary himself by the neck. What does that even mean? The strongest theory is that there's another snake in the story, maybe Gary's evil twin brother, someone with a totally different personality and way more dangerous. Both seem to have exactly the same color, which makes everything even more confusing. Either Gary is somehow pulling himself, which makes zero sense, or there really is a second identical snake the movie is using to trick everyone. Just imagine 2 identical characters switching places all the time and driving both the heroes and the audience completely crazy. We'll only find out the truth at the very end of the movie, but curiosity is already way too high. Let's start with what made everyone freak out: the brand new species. The first big surprise is Gary. Yes, the blue snake who shows up out of nowhere and makes Nick comment in the trailer that it's been a long time since a serpent has appeared in the city, and that already makes fans ask, why on earth are there no snakes living in Zootopia normally? The answer should show up in the movie, especially now that we discovered there's a secret area where reptiles live hidden away. But clearly that's not all. Disney is focusing so heavily on reptiles that it's almost certain another surprise animal is coming. The strongest theory is about birds, especially a natural predator of snakes, like a hawk. Imagine the chaos. And there's another wild detail we can't ignore. The creators have already said that there are no humans or monkeys in the Zootopia universe. But what if that changes now? What if the villain is someone the animals don't accept and who terrifies everyone? That would be a total shock. And Zootopia loves that kind of twist. Now let's talk about a huge turn in the story. Judy Hopps and Nick Wilde won't stay as police officers for most of the movie. That's right. They need to help Gary escape from a mysterious villain, and they end up neck-deep in a dangerous situation. Because of that, the bunny and her fox friend leave the police force and become real fugitives, with the city's officers chasing them through the streets. In the trailer, we clearly see both of them running while other agents try to capture the duo, and this is going to be an emotional nightmare for Judy. After all, being a cop has always been her biggest life dream. Now imagine how she's going to feel seeing all of Zootopia believing she's a traitor, someone who needs to be arrested. It's a huge blow, and one of the heaviest parts of this new storyline. And if you think you've already figured out who the villain is, sorry, but this movie is probably tricking everyone on purpose. In the first trailer, we saw a mysterious hooded villain, super dark and creepy, as if he were the big evil behind everything. But anyone who knows Zootopia knows this franchise loves misleading the audience. In the first movie, everyone thought the villain would be a terrifying predator, but in the end, we discovered it was Deputy Mayor Bellwether. Now we have something similar happening again. Disney revealed that there's a millionaire Lynx family controlling the city's new mayor. In fact, in the trailer, the family's leader clearly tells the horse mayor that he wants Nick and Judy off the case. This makes us believe he is the villain. But this is probably just another fake-out. Maybe the lynxes aren't even bad, and the real antagonist might be someone totally unexpected, maybe even from a species we've never seen before. And honestly, based on all the clues, that's a very strong possibility. One of the oldest mysteries in the Zootopia universe is finally getting attention in this second movie. Why do only mammals live in the main city? It's always been strange, but now, with the arrival of Gary, a super important snake for the story, things start to make more sense. In the trailer, we see that nobody really likes the serpent, and he even comments that snakes aren't the villains in this adventure, which hints at a huge mystery about the city's past. The new beaver that appears briefly also mentions a secret reptile population living hidden somewhere in Zootopia, opening the door to the theory that there's more than one kingdom inhabited by different species. If Gary and his family hide in a secret place, then there might be a whole parallel world full of animals that never showed up in the previous movies. And the big question is, what happened long ago that divided mammals from all the other animals? Looks like we're finally going to find out, and it's going to completely change the way we understand this world. Another emotional detail is that we might finally learn more about Nick Wilde's family. In one of the chase scenes, Nick shows up wearing a t-shirt that says Foxy Dad, which might indicate that the movie will touch on the fox's past. We know he's in disguise during that moment, as part of their investigation. But even so, that shirt feels like a clear hint that his father may become relevant. Since Nick grew up only with his mother, pretending to be a dad during this disguise must hit him hard. And since we also know he'll have therapy sessions with Judy, it's almost certain that at some point he'll open up and share his story, whether about his father's death or some kind of abandonment in his past. The big question is, will Nick's dad actually appear? And if he does, will he be dangerous or just a good guy who made terrible choices? This is one of the most anticipated mysteries in the movie. If you're enjoying this video, do the smart thing and hit that subscribe button so you won't miss any of our future videos. Now comes a part that promises to be massive. Zootopia's past is finally going to be revealed. In the trailer, we see a huge celebration of the city's 100-year anniversary, which already signals that the movie will go back in time to show how everything began. If we combine everything we already know, snakes disappearing ages ago, reptiles living hidden, mammals dominating the city, it's clear that something huge happened many decades back. At the beginning of the first movie, during Judy's little play, we learned that predators and prey used to be at war constantly until they signed a peace agreement and created Zootopia. But who said every species accepted that agreement? Who guarantees that snakes, birds, or other animals agreed to stop hunting? Maybe some animals refused to end the conflict, which could have caused an even bigger war among several species. The end of that battle may have led to the creation of a city meant only for mammals. If this theory is real, it makes total sense that Gary is running, because his past and his entire species may be a massive secret about to explode in the middle of the story. And if you thought Bellwether was gone for good, forget that right now. She's coming back, and she's coming back strong. In the first trailer, she appears wearing her orange prison outfit, showing she's still locked up. But since she shows up in the second movie's trailer, it's obvious that Judy and Nick will visit her looking for answers. And there's a strong theory explaining why. Many people believed Bellwether had supporters who backed her plan to control the city and eliminate predators. Maybe the villain of this new story is actually a follower of hers, and that means only Bellwether can reveal who's behind everything. But there's more. There's an old concept art piece showing a sheep who's a master of disguises, a character who was originally supposed to appear in the first film and might be connected to Bellwether, maybe as her father or an employee. If this character really shows up, he might sneak into the prison in disguise to free the old villain, and that would happen only at the end of the movie as a setup for Zootopia 3. Will we see Bellwether returning as the big antagonist again? It would be insane and incredibly fun to watch. In the second movie, we'll finally see the elite of Zootopia's police force. The Boers, a very clear reference to the SWAT teams in the United States. The trailer shows part of their vehicle, which has the SNFR symbol printed on it. And just that tiny detail already made fans curious about their role in the story. Will they be important allies for Judy and Nick? Or will they become a massive obstacle depending on how the protagonists are treated while they're fugitives? We're only going to find out if these Boers are on the good or bad side when Zootopia 2 hits theaters in November 2025. But one thing is certain, their presence is going to bring even more intense action scenes. Going back to the story of the ancient war, we're finally starting to understand more about the mysterious hooded villain who's chasing Gary. He's someone who clearly wants to eliminate the reptiles and believes Zootopia should be a place inhabited only by mammals. This motivation seems to come straight from the past, when, 100 years ago, several species refused to sign the peace agreement. The reptiles were probably the biggest group to reject that deal, and because of that, the antagonist wants to wipe out not just Gary, but the entire hidden community of snakes, lizards, and turtles. It's a cruel plan with zero compassion, making him a truly dangerous and terrifying villain. And that raises a huge question. What kind of creature is hiding under that hood? It might be a species we've never seen before, which fits perfectly with all the clues in the trailer. One of the saddest and most realistic possibilities in this new movie is that Judy and Nick might end up separated. We see both of them attending therapy sessions with a psychologist, which already shows that their partnership is going through a rough patch. On top of that, Chief Bogo clearly warns them that if they fail the mission, the sheriff will separate the duo for good. And to make things worse, in the middle of the story, the two become fugitives for helping Gary, which puts the entire police force after them. Nick has been seen as a criminal his whole life, and even when he tries to do the right thing, he's still treated with suspicion. Because of that, it's very possible that he'll lose the motivation to stay in the police force, and that would hit Judy hard, since she believes in him so much. But if you want to keep following this whole crazy mess, just stay with us until the end. Another amazing detail in the trailer is that this time we'll explore lots of brand new parts of the Zootopia world. For example, we see a swamp market full of new species, like beavers, seals, and other animals that never showed up in the movies. We also see the massive mansion owned by the Lynx family, located in the frozen region of the city, where that elegant ballroom scene takes place. On top of that, the story will take us through the desert area, revealing even more unknown regions. The reason for all this is revealed quickly. The Lynx family controls the climate zones of the city, meaning if there's a desert, a forest, and a frozen zone all in the same place, it's because they manipulate the weather however they want. Zootopia 2 promises to show tons of places we've never seen before, expanding this world in a really cool way. Like Bugs Bunny would say, that's all folks. Or is it? We're leaving 2 more videos so you can keep watching with us. And trust me, they're worth it. See you later.